Oh my goodness, what is he doing here? Dude, my stream delay is cooked. I've got so much stream delay.
My bad.
That showed up like 5 seconds after for me, bro.
I don't have stream delay on, so I can tell you that at the very minimum.
Well, I know it's my stream delay.
We were talking
Still
about it
delay for
earlier
me.
too. Talking about it earlier, like some of these players are highly esteemed, like within the community, at least in the ETF 2L6's community. I mean, these two players I consider to be highly esteemed. SNH from the Czech Republic, pretty famed sniper in his own regard. I mean, we see him playing in this tournament as a scout, but his sniper is pretty deadly. Has played on a few Czech teams alongside players like Lucas and all that stuff. We have Alov, who unfortunately had the bad hand and was forced to play with Eon Medic and Mac Demo. No, I'm just kidding. Those two are really cool people, but he was just recently seen at Poland 2026 playing for a Kek Minion Samurai. So this guy has had piled his trade in multiple classes, not just soldier, but also scout. So whatever we'll see in this tournament, you know, we can. I think this tournament will display his versatility on both soldier and scout, but I mean that remains to be seen. So. But we do have the maps. We have Flyover. I mean, Node is the first map. Flyover is your second. And obviously Badlands Middle is a decider, so it's good to see.
You guys love Node.
They really do.
Big fans of Node here. And I want to go back. You said it'll show Olov's versatility, and I do think that's true. But also, it'll show the mental strength, because right now Olive has to put all of it on the line. Everything has to go on the line, because if you lose, you're eliminated. You don't get the chance to go to Philadelphia. You don't get that opportunity. You lose that. As soon as you lose 2 maps, you're done. You have nothing that you can do at this point, because you're in the lowers. So you have to fight tooth and nail. You have to put everything on the table, lay it all out on the field, every single matchup. And that's going to get pretty tiring pretty fast. That is something that I feel like might get overlooked when somebody is in a lower bracket situation. The mental strain that it takes on a lot of people when you're in that lower bracket situation and you have to play basically perfectly. Otherwise, you get eliminated. Especially in a situation like this where every mistake you make is on you. You have no teammates. This is a 1v1 DM situation, right? This is purely your mechanics. So if you get diffed here, there's only one person you can blame, and it's yourself.
That is true. That is true. Aki, I have something on the screen. I'm trying to like figure this out right now. So you gotta help me here.
Oh, of course. Once this ad finishes, like
We have ads running. Who would have thought?
Oh, dude, none of these. Oh, wow.
Boy, did they start? Did they start? My bad.
Oh, did they?
Oopsies. We are live.
I'm not on any of their cams. I'm trying to get
it's
on
okay.
one of their cams. There we go.
We have Alov versus SNH though, and Alov is actually switching. He's opting for shotgun here. I mean, he's opting to play soldier here against SNH, and I mean, I don't blame him. It's like, he is a soldier main after all.
Alov is up 9-1, 10-1 here. Excuse me, finding a pick as soon as I try to talk about the score line. Could get taken down here. Scouts playing very well on the high ground. SNH up at 2. Trying their best to really cut down on this lead. You're going to have to play it slow, though. You want to keep your distance from this soldier and try to whittle them down. Soldier waddling forward with a shotgun now. Not going to be able to find a pick. 3-10 for SNH here, but still in favor of Olive here. Now 4-10, getting themselves up ever so slightly in the lead. The soldier can't really counter jump this scout either. He has to let the scout fall down to him, or he has to try and force the scout off of the high ground. The only opportunity you really have to contest that high ground is if you go up these stairs and take the even height battle and try to spam them off. But even then, you're playing into what that scout wants. You're playing at a distance where he can just pistol you down. But that said, Olive is going to be able to find another pick. It's 15-5 here on Node for the first round. So they're playing very, very well. Just controlling this height, Great dominance from alov here, but anything is possible. SNH could mount a comeback
16-8,
if
it's possible.
they play right.
Yeah, I mean, SNH, you know, like I said, everybody's got to warm up just a little bit. And the score is, I believe, 16-10. Correct me if I'm wrong now, 16-11. We see SNH slowly waking up to play here. And, I mean, this is great to see. Obviously, we've seen this map played dominantly by the soldiers against the scout. Oh, my God. What an upward direct by alov. And this guy is on a tear right now.
Yeah, alov is putting on a clinic right about now. 19-9 here in favor of alov here. One more kill is all he needs to secure this first round, and that's exactly how it's going to go. Score of 20-9. SNH couldn't even break double digits in that first round, but maybe they just needed to get warm. Playing directly in front of that soldier, but gets knocked away and forced to play space. But they were so weak from those rocks. What a direct! Oh my goodness, to knock him up into the air and get the free shotgun pick. 3-0 here now, 4-0, 5 kill streak with that shotgun, doing a lot of finishing blows here. One carrying over from the previous round, of course. 4-1 here in favor of alov. SNH finally getting onto the board. 2-4 here. Just trying to play the height, and this is where you want to stay back. You want to force him to play at a distance, but when you allow him to jump up like that nice rocket again from alov here, not going to be able to mop up that pick, but 5-3 here. Within 2, winnable for SNH. Now within 3, alov's going to be able to find a shotgun pick that mops it up. Downward direct, just running in a straight line. Not what you want to do against a soldier here, especially when he has that height.
I'm starting to think about it now when I look at this map, and I think, like, the Spire, like, once you have it as a soldier, it's insanely potent and, like, just snowballing this map against the Scout. Because while the Scout, obviously, there is a lot of room for the Scout to move around, and SNH is proving to us that he can make it close on this map, despite the limited platforms that he has to work around to bob and weave against these rockets and shotguns, is that I think there's not as much space as you would have primarily on, like, something like Badlands Middle, where there's more open space, personally, to say, and there's more objects to work around to at least dodge damage from. Once you see, like, SNH getting propped up into the air like that, it's almost like a done deal for alov in his favor, because once he props SNH and juggles him up, he can just switch the shotgun or just hit him with rockets like that.
Absolutely. 9-14 within 5 for SNH here. Trying their absolute best to win a round on node, force a third round, but doesn't look like that's how it's going to be going for them. 16-9 in favor of alov. 10-16 now. Now 17-10, within 7 here is SNH. It is still winnable, but the margins are closing very, very, very quickly here. 18-10, 19-10. One more kill is all alov needs to go to the second map early. But SNH still in the fight. Will be able to find a pick of their own. Now going to be able to find 2 picks. Trying to find a third. Will find a third within 6 here, but hold on. Anything is possible. What a rocket from alov, and the finishing blow from the shotgun to wrap up node, and they will move on to Flyover for map 2.
Man, I don't know what to tell you, man, because now I mean, node is a hard map, but now we're on Flyover, which, if we've seen anything from these past few maps, at least there's a little more leeway to be a scout on this map. But now, look at this. Once you lose that high ground compared to node, it's way harder to close the distance against alov. So, if anything, this map should tell me that if the geography or, like, the layout of this map should tell me anything, it should be a straight up win for alov. I think SNH is going to be eliminated, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a very, very hard-fought battle for SNH, but they, like we saw earlier with Node, this is a map where you want to stay back and play your distances. You can get an angle on alov here, even if they are playing on top of that height, and we're seeing this right now. It's 4-4 right now. It is even across the board. Now, SNH is in the lead. alov is down, gets that trade immediately, however, will tie it back up again. But if you're SNH here, you want to be playing at a distance.
Like, see that?
You don't want to be playing directly underneath of alov like we just saw right there. You want to play at a distance. You want to whittle him down. You want to try and get him with a pistol. Do something, anything to try and bully him. and especially if you can overtake that height, force him to counter jump. What a beautiful rocket right there, by the way. But you want to try and force him to counter jump you here. But that said, score is 9-7. SNH is within 2 of tying it.
But here's the thing, you see, like, SNH can't get himself onto the high ground, because you do that, you just get immediately splashed. But then you also can't, like, you can't just, like, be predictable on where your movement is, because that you can just get quick switched by the shotgun. So we saw SNH, he's just trying to play around these corners to where he doesn't get splashed, but it also, like, closes the distance enough to where alov is kind of thrown off on how he has to, like, aim against SNH. But SNH, like, once he loses, like, a 1 round, and then alov has secured himself on the high ground like this, SNH is pretty much screwed. And you don't see this on something like Badlands. The high ground is pretty much symmetrical across the map, and there is no one defined rule or one defined point of high ground where it's hard to, where you can easily dominate from. Badlands, you have the entire valley under the point to work with. But this one, you barely have anything to work with as a scout, so you just gotta hope you have the best movement ever.
Yeah, I feel like this is a little bit of a Spire situation where you have one defined point of high ground that everybody's going to go to, and then, well, everything centers around that. If whoever gets the high ground is at a crazy advantage because the other person has to jump up, and not only do they have to take a chunk of their health away by jumping up, it makes them move in a very predictable manner.
Oh, you gotta
so
clean this up. Thank God. Sorry, I was gonna say, like, SNH had the upper hand that entire round and nearly choked it, but it looks like the curtain's closing on SNH's chances of winning this round. I think alov has got this in the bag.
Ooh. Well, don't speak too soon because the bell has not yet rung, and it seems like it's going to be tolling for alov in this round, 15-19. Good rockets landing on SNH here, and the shotgun flick will seal the deal for alov in this first round of Flyover. We move on to the match point, the series point, essentially, as one more loss eliminates SNH from the bracket. alov will move in advance up in the lower bracket and find their way forward.
So I don't know if these guys know, but you can shoot directly under this point. I mean, rockets I don't think go through it, but I think you can actually shoot under it. I think we saw that in previous matches, but maybe these two are just not aware of the fact.
I think you can't shoot rockets through the grate, but
you
the
can shoot
splash
bullets.
damage.
You can shoot bullets.
The splash damage will carry through, and I think you can shoot bullets through it. So it gives, if a soldier is standing on top of the point, I think it gives anybody who's playing hit scan the opportunity to just go directly under them and shoot them, but I'm not entirely sure if that is how that works. Now, that said, SNH is in the lead right now. They're in the lead by 3, which I think is the biggest lead that they've had up against alov up until this point. Now alov closing in on that lead, 5-6 here. Now 7-5. Could alov get another pick here? And it looks like they're going to be able to. Great place rockets. 7-6 is the score in favor of SNH here. Now tied up at 7 apiece. Now favoring alov at 8-7. My goodness, what a rocket. Now 9-7 on a tear here. SNH is in a very bad spot trying to contest this height. It's very difficult if you're playing scout here. 10-8. Immediately that lead is clawed back by alov here. alov will fall to SNH once more within
direct.
1. Oh my.
Yeah, this is the thing.
9-11.
This is the thing about these maps that I think MGE made them with consideration of. It's the fact that you can snowball the momentum pretty easily. Like, once you get rolling, it never stops coming. So you can see how quick, while SNH was able to jump to an early lead, you can see how quick it was for alov to quickly swing the pendulum back in his favor. And now he's put himself in the lead, but he's got to, well, he wasn't able to hold on. I was going to say he's got to hold on, because now SNH is now back in the lead, and he's hit 2 nice shots to secure himself the round. He's going to play the distance here to extend the lead to 2. Sorry.
Yeah, lead is only within 1, and now it is tied up as alov is able to find 2, now 3 to get themselves back in the lead, and that is pretty dominant here. Now another to get it up by 2. alov is locking in here, trying to get themselves into a deeper lead, but not going to be able to. 15-16, still favoring alov here, but one pick is all it takes to tie it up. 17-15 here, full health on top of that high ground. Scout playing under, doesn't try to shoot through the gray. Oh my goodness, SNH, you cannot do that.
He got directed and he still managed to bring that round back, but I don't know if that's enough. It is tooth and neck here, Eki. And oh no, just one more point before alov eliminates SNH from the tournament. He's got the shotgun out. SNH caught, but he hits the pistol shots. He's got it in him. Can he secure 2 more? No, the shotgun plus the crater means SNH is out of the tournament and alov wins.
I thought for sure it was going to be over after SNH got slammed into the corner, had to waddle up this high ground.
Man.
The shotgun pellets were flying towards him, but somehow, some way, they did not die to those. They did not die. So they managed to stay up. They jumped toward alov, and they managed to find a pick. But at the end of the day, it was not enough. It was too little, too late, and they will get eliminated in a sweep in that lower bracket round, and alov will advance forward.
Man, you know, I always, when we watch these soldier versus scout matches, I always root for the underdog, which is normally the scout. It's like, because those maps, when you look at it, now, I don't really know how the map pick bans go. I think like one of them is a default map, and I think it's always node. I think you genuinely, if you play this, if you have to play in this tournament as a scout, you're pretty much kind of already at a 1 map disadvantage. Like there's always going to be that map pick ban disadvantage by nature. Because I think node is just like always going to be the first map for this tournament, which means that already as a scout, you're kind of screwed over. And I don't like, people may be wondering, well, Yum Yum and Halu from the World Championship were able to play so well, but you got to realize that they didn't have to play like a soldier dominant map that can easily snowball for a soldier. I think very well if maybe Yum Yum would be the only one that could maybe consistently win a soldier v scout on node. But most of these scouts, it's pretty much a death sentence to play node against a soldier. So the fact that SNH was able to pull it close towards the end on node, and then having to play Flyover, which is also a soldier-centric map, it makes me wonder if we had played on like the cookie cutter MGE maps, would that have gone any different for SNH? I would say yes, given how it went from what we saw.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean,